Hey guys, welcome back to Guys That Listen. I'm Mario,
My name is Peter.
and today that we have the very talented Wayne.
Extremely
Hey,
talented.
guys.
So tell us a little about yourself.
So I'm a doctor of physical therapy and been practicing for almost about 3 years now.
Nice.
And, just really getting into it, getting my feet wet right now and really trying to find my footing in this career of mine. And it's nice to be here, guys. It's nice to finally meet you two.
Thanks for coming.
Of course.
Yeah.
So being a doctor, does that mean your parents are proud of you?
Yes and no. Yeah.
Wow.
No, a
I
lot
wonder
of
how the PT doctor pairs up to like always not.
it's always like parents, right? Like they never listen to you, and they listen to another doctor. And
Yeah.
they're like, I told you the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to me at all. So
God,
yeah,
that's
you
a
could have got
pain.
free advice, but you had to pay your copay.
How'd you get into like physical therapy?
I think like a big part of it is playing sports, and that's like a lot
Oh.
of PTs. That's their kind of story, and it doesn't sound
They're in
very
sports.
original.
Yeah.
But mine was always like I didn't want to be a PT when I was younger. Like
Oh, wow.
I was really into motorsport, so like
Oh,
I was gonna go
nice.
to the art center and do car design, and
Oh,
then go
that's
into
tight.
engineering to do aerodynamics engineering. But then I was like, I don't want to sit around all day, and so I was just like, hey, look, let's just do PT. It was like two different worlds.
Yeah, that's
right?
extreme
And
difference.
yeah, the rest is history.
Your back must be so thankful you didn't go into
Oh
engineering.
yeah, my
Yeah.
back, my
Ooh.
hips, yeah, everything.
So then, did your parents have any sway into what you wanted to do? Like, because at least from like my friends, I'm like, oh yeah, you should be a doctor, you should be an engineer, you should
Yeah.
be a lawyer.
Lawyer.
You know?
Yeah. I guess it was yes and no. I think like my parents really kind of put me in a lot of art classes and design classes, and they put a lot of
Oh,
money
wow.
into me.
Damn.
And like
Damn, they believed in you. Like
yeah,
that.
they really did
Nice.
believe me because I was the youngest. I was the only boy. I had two older
Oh.
sisters, right? And so I think a big part of it was just kind of following the footsteps and just trying to be successful.
Yeah.
But then I pivoted finally, and that was kind of one of the things where it was one of those things where you had that light bulb moment, and and then you kind of dove head first, and you're like, yeah, this is it. Like this
Wow.
is actually what made things like clear. Like yeah, I love doing what I do.
I'm still waiting for that moment.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing this, right?
But cheers to that return of
Yeah,
investment.
yeah.
Seriously,
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
dude. Yeah, I noticed like ever since we became friends on like social media, like
Yeah.
when because you said that wasn't the first thing that came to mind when you decided to pursue a career.
Yeah.
When I see your post, I'm like, it feels like you're a PT. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
When you talked about what was that? You're talking about one of your clients. It was about their insurance policy. I think it was like
Yeah.
it got too expensive, so they
Yeah,
went
yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then now they have to come back to you and correct like all the
Yeah.
progress that
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
taken back.
It kind of sucks because like a big part of it is like our healthcare system, and like
Yeah.
for us in the U.S. right now, it's capitalistic, right? Like we pay a lot more,
Yikes.
but the thing is, you go to a clinic and now people still pay really high copay for a basic amount of care.
Yeah.
Right. And so like in the PT world, a lot of people are trying to fight that and really trying to get, paid more, but also like trying to fight that. And I think the biggest part is a lot of PTs are slowly going into a cash-based system where
What's that mean?
So like you would, instead of paying like using your insurance, you pay like a higher rate.
Okay.
So let's say like instead of paying your copay of $20-$30 and one PT to like 4 or 5 patients, you pay $150-$200 to see a PT for an hour one-on-one, and you get that full extent of care, not just in the clinic but beyond that as well. Like they give you like exercises, videos, you get to email them,
Yeah.
bother them in the middle of the night if you have a problem, things like that. And it's more of like you're able to focus more on that patient, and then give them the amount of care that they deserve rather than go through the insurance. And that shows
Yeah.
how broken the insurance system is.
Yeah. So you got
Wow.
patients texting you like 2 a.m. in the morning, like
Yeah,
not as a
like-
booty call, just like
Yeah, like, hey, my neck hurts, what do I do? And I'm like, I'm sleeping, I'm sorry, I'll text you in the morning.
I'm sleep texting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really interesting that like you have to go circumvent the actual normal system because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you have to fight. Wait, is this the cash way? Is it legal or is it? Like,
It is legal. So
Oh.
like there's a lot of insurances, like especially with private insurances, there's like an out-of-network fee if you ever contact them, and they usually pay like a percentage of your cash. So let's say like you were charged like $100 for a cash-based PT, and then your private insurance would pay like 50 or 60% of that, you just pay the difference.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
find that it's more patients that are with more money rather than like, because I'd assume that the other way works for patients with less money who are in a different bracket economically,
Yeah.
where they can't afford to, like, yeah, I'm sure they want that personal,
Yeah.
but they don't have the money for that. So do your patients tend to be more middle and then upper?
Not necessarily. Like, I've gotten patients who actually, like, they scrounge up the money because you're really trying to you can't put money on your health, right?
You can't, but you can.
Yeah, you can and you
but
can. Exactly. And you're really trying to create an environment and a lifestyle change for them to make sure that they never have to go back to the doctor for the same thing.
Yeah.
But you're also trying to create a lifestyle change where they don't have to go to the doctor, every so often for their back pain, knee pain, or whatever, and then make sure, they don't get diabetes, heart disease, and all these different things because just by staying active.
Do you see a difference in the types of people that come to you, like, in terms of like minorities and not? At least I speak from my own perspective because like, dude, it takes hell and back to get my dad to go to the doctor or to go to PT or anything like that. I'm like, hey, you got to go, you got to do this and stuff. And like, I have to push him, you got to go do this. But I noticed, and we always say like, oh, it's Latinos, they never want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But I've heard my other friends, oh yeah, black people never want to go to the doctor. Asians never want to go to the doctor.
Yep, same
Yeah.
with Vietnamese people too, dude. My dad's like, oh, I can't feel my leg.
Yeah.
I'm like, you should go to the doctor. He's like, nah, I'm gonna stay home. I'm like, bro, you can't even feel your leg. What are you
I know.
doing? Yeah.
I feel like that's with every culture because it's so ingrained, especially like as immigrants, right? Like we're just so thought like, oh yeah, it tickles a little bit, it hurts, we're fine. We moved here from a different country, came with everything, nothing on our backs, just money in our pocket, and like
Put a little tiger balm on it.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a
And
little tickle, right?
Right, yeah, right. It's like, oh, I can't feel my legs, let's chop it off. Right?
Oh, jeez.
But I think the thing is, it's like it's so ingrained in us, and even now, like for me, it's kind of like I don't want to go to the doctor. For me, I'm just way too busy.
Yeah.
Like I can't take the time out of my day to go see my patients. I think a big part of that, like what you said, Mario, was just you see a lot of it in like Latinos and like Asians and like actually like all around because we're just so hardworking people. We don't want to take the time to do that. But when you start getting them in there and you show them like, hey, like this little thing, like not the massage, not the eyes, not the machines or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the movement, the exercise. When you start teaching them that, it's like a light bulb, like just clicked in their head, like, oh, that's what you meant.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
a magical moment.
Yeah.
It's a magical moment.
And I do see like with like lower socioeconomic like people that come in, it's just like they were just never taught it. Like no one gave the time to them because their insurance pays so low that their doctors are probably seeing like 20 patients an hour and they don't have the time. Like you probably gone to doctors and they just came in like hurriedly, like, hey, what's your name? Do you have this, that? Okay, here's the script and go goodbye. And my thing is I want to spend as long as I can with them. It could be a little annoying, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like if I can get one less person to have surgery, I can sleep better at night.
Yeah, you're a good doctor.
I try to be. I try to be at least.
You're
We
one of the
need
legit
more
ones,
Waynes.
the honest
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You know how we just talked about like different ethnicities and like
Yeah.
their difficulty in coming in?
Yeah.
It sounds like, or at least to me, this is just my opinion, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that also has to do with sex. Like it's the men who have a hard time coming in.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like if I tell my mom, she's like, "Oh yeah, my leg hurts." She'll like, "Okay, I'll come into the doctor."
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
My
that's
dad
true.
would be like, I'll just walk it off. I'm like, what do you mean? You can't feel your leg. What do you mean walk it off?
Yeah, it's weird because like with my mom, she has like pretty bad knee pain, but it's just because like she's been mostly sedentary. So like I told her like here's some exercises, go walk, you'll feel fine. No more knee pain, no more like stomach
Nice.
issues, whatever. She just feels great.
Stomach
My dad-
issues?
Yeah, like she had like gallbladder issues. Like in Taiwan, like we went to Taiwan from like November 2020 to 2021, and like my mom lost like a bunch of weight. She feels better. Feels
Wow.
great, right? My dad went back. He had like 2 carpal tunnel surgeries, had a stent put into his heart. I'm like, Dad, you okay? He's like, yeah, but like your mom lost weight and she felt great. I'm like, yeah, you should probably lose some weight too. So
Jeez.
yeah, there's that. No, but like Peter, I think like the biggest thing is like with females there, I think they're more health conscious.
Yeah.
And guys are just guys.
Yeah.
Right,
I noticed
like,
the same thing with my mom.
Guys
And
are just
and
guys.
yeah, and it's just what toxic masculinity.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
definitely. for
Might be that.
sure.
Yeah, we try to tough it out.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's what you said, like how you get caught in this like repetition of your work,
Yeah.
And I feel it is part of like maybe it is part toxic masculinity where you feel like you have to provide and you feel like you have to work and you're stuck in this. You don't want to take any days off.
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta like for your health, so you can work harder later.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like I think a big part of it too is like I'm guilty of this. Like my girlfriend always tells me like, hey, look, you should take some days off. I'm like, no, I gotta work. Because if I don't see my patients, who the hell's gonna see my patients?
Yeah.
Right. And that means that's one more week of them being in pain. You know, and that kind of lives on my consciousness.
Oh, dude, that's even more because that is something like a burden on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
someone
You're
else's
responsible
health.
for other people's welfare.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. I still get sleep at night.
Yeah.
Sleep at night.
Not
When you're
good.
texting
Wake up every hour in cold sweat.
Yeah.
I still get sleep at night.
We're gonna message you today, dude. Our back's really hurt. Like, damn.
Oh man.
That must be really crazy, right? Because, like, I mean, you see these patients, your job is kind of like to get them out as soon as possible so that way they could go work on themselves and so they don't come and repeat like the same scenario over again.
Yeah. And I think that's why like a lot of PTs now, they're trying to advocate for the fact that like they're telling insurances like, look, you know, you come to us, you don't have to go get surgery. But the thing is like they're like surgery's more expensive. They get paid more, and that's the capitalistic part.
side,
Right? Exactly. So
that's
it's
crazy.
not just getting them out of pain, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like if you like hurt your knee, like you tore your ACL, I'm not just gonna get you back to playing soccer. I'm gonna try to make you the best soccer player that you can be. Exactly.
Damn.
And that's the whole point, right? And like if you came back to me with the same problem, I mean, either I didn't do my job or you didn't do your homework for doing exercises, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's
The homework.
the
Yeah.
homework.
yeah. No, I can see that. I can see
Yeah,
that. No,
but
definitely.
it lays heavy, you know, on your mind and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are some clients who go through like crippling pain and
yeah.
you build like a relationship with them and you just feel so like sympathetic and you're just like, oh my God, like I want you to change your life. But then it goes back to like, if they don't want to change it, you can't change it for them. You can only guide them, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel that like pretty often?
All the time.
Damn.
Like empathy burnout is so big.
Empathy burnout. I've actually never heard that.
Yeah. So it's like
Maybe
it's
I'm not
pretty much
empathetic
when you
enough.
care. Yeah.
You're a sociopath.
Yeah. It's just like when you care too much and then like you come home, you're like, man, I don't want to do anything. It's not like, I know what burnout feels like, and it's just physical, right?
Yeah.
Empathy burnout is kind of like you just lose all emotion. You're
Emotional.
like, fuck, dude.
I've
Like,
had it.
Yeah.
I've had it, and I know that other places have the highest count of people who have it are vets.
Yeah.
Vets have the highest count.
Vets?
Of
Like veterinarian?
Yeah.
Veterinarians.
Oh, really?
Veterinarians, yeah.
That's crazy.
Because they care about their dogs, they care about the owners, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Veterinarians are the people who see the most grown men cry.
So I actually kind of have a story about that. Like back when I used to lift, like here and there, I remember I picked up this client, and she was like, probably like 60 years old, really wrinkly, like smoked hella cigarettes. Like before I could see her, I think she like before I picked her up, she smoked like 2 cigarettes. That's fucking fast, right?
Yeah.
So I picked her up. I'm like, damn, she must be like a meth head or some shit like that. I was like, God damn, we'll see where this goes. So I pick her up, and she's like, oh, take me to the rehab center or whatever. So I'm like, oh, yeah, she is addict. And I'm like, oh, why do you need to go to the rehab center? You know, going for rehab? She's like, no, I'm actually one of the caretakers.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh.
Shit.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, so you notice me smoking a lot of cigarettes because I'm stressed out about my work.
Yeah.
And then she told me a bunch of interesting stories. She was like, yeah, like actually a lot of the kids that are in there are like rich kids. And these kids, you know, like you build like a kind of like connection with them. And then like you just know that they're going to fall back and relapse.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will die. So you try not to like, you know, connect with them so much. But you can't help it. You know, you want the best for them, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And then she was just telling me like, yeah, it's like you go into work and you want to feel numb. Because you know you'll feel pain if you don't feel numb.
It's hard, man. Because like you pour your energy, your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears into like this one person, and if they fail, it's kind of like what I do. It's kind of like being a parent.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds like you're raising a
It's
kid.
literally like being a parent.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like if they fail, you're like, what did I do? What did I do wrong?
You
But
have
a lot
failed
of
me.
Times it's kind of like, you know, they're their own person too.
Yeah.
Right. And like they have their own, you know, obstacles to kind of go through. You can't hold their hand because if you hold their hand, you become a sheltered child.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So, you know, it's hard. You
yeah.
know, it's hard both ways.
Oh yeah, you'd actually really like our last guest,
Yeah.
who we just had. He fell off a 7-story building,
Oh.
so he probably had to do all his like rehab. Like he told us he had to shift his mentality
Shouts to Eric, yeah.
and become a lot more disciplined because they told him he'd never be able to walk again.
Yeah.
he cracked his hands, his feet, his head, and everything. And he came in walking like when we had him. He spent like 2 months in a coma. 4 months or something in recovery. Like, you know, obviously he had to do all his PT.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the biggest thing, like what I like to do is like believing in people when all the doctors say like, oh, you can't do this ever again.
You're that doctor. You're the movie doctor.
That guy.
You're the movie doctor where it's like you're gonna help them walk and they're just like barely
exactly
moving.
right. Like I'm that guy where like I try to become everyone's like ground beneath their feet.
Wow.
And like
Ground
whatever
beneath
doctor
their
says like,
feet.
oh hey, like you can't play golf again, you can't squat again, deadlift again, you can't do any of this again. I'm like nah, let's put in some work, you know. And like I'll put in the best I can, and let's say like we get them to like 85%. Like look, you're 85% better than you were when you first came in.
Yeah.
Right. And that's better than what the doctor said. So look, let's go prove them wrong and walk into their office.
Whoa,
right?
that's
and
a
like,
movie.
It hurts a lot.
Did you say it's a movie?
That's a movie.
And the theme song is "Don't Stop Believing."
Yeah. No. Right.
So, okay, just going into that.
Yeah.
Like, what is the biggest miracle that you witnessed, or that you were a part of?
Biggest miracle?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man.
That's hard. I would say like my friend Dennis over here, our friend Dennis over here.
He is a
I
miracle.
mean, I didn't know
Shouts to
how
Dennis.
bad his back and his shoulder was until he told me. But like now he can do all the crazy things he does. Sleep 2 hours every night and lift like
What's
22
wrong
hours.
with you?
No. Love you, bro. Anyways,
Love you, Dennis.
so there's that.
Thanks for the bruise.
Yeah. But then I think the biggest one was like when I had a patient. She came in and I think she saw like a bunch of physical therapists, and she was like, her feet hurt. She had like plantar fasciitis, where like the bottom of your feet hurt to walk and run and things like
damn,
that.
okay.
And like her podiatrist said look, you're never gonna be able to run again, right? And gave her all these like inserts, and they never worked. Worked with her for about 4 or 5 months, and I was like, look, you can run now. Bye.
Wow, that was
Damn.
Yeah. It was kind of like that mic drop.
All right, I'm getting your number after this.
Yeah, he's actually been trying to find a guy. So
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, go Wayne, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's what I love to do, man. Just making people like meet their goals and break them and have fun.
that's awesome. It must make you feel really good to do stuff like
It makes me feel really good when it happens, and then makes me feel really shitty when it doesn't. You got your highs and your lowest lows.
Yeah, no.
Nothing in between.
You mentioned the light bulb moment.
Yeah.
What was that moment for you that took you down this journey to become like who you are now?
I think the light bulb moment was just being the person that you wouldn't know now, but like I'm a very big introvert. But like when I'm put in an environment where I can help people grow, like definitely helping like my friends and things like that. But I think just be able to create a lot of like community with people, right? And that's the same thing with being a PT. I create a community of like patients that like they know that like if some person comes out at 8 a.m., they're gonna schedule their next appointment at 8 a.m. to meet this person, and just create a community of people that I have the same pain. Let's go through this together, right? And that's the thing that we create as PTs.
That's awesome.
I think the biggest thing was like I just decided to like really put myself out there and figured out like, hey, maybe I'm not that big of an introvert. like I can actually talk to people without having social anxiety. But you have your good days and your bad days.
Yeah.
It's a switch.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's
sometimes it's a
crazy.
switch, and it becomes easier when you do it for someone else sometimes too.
Or with alcohol.
Or with
All
alcohol.
right.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
He's always sober when he works with patients.
So light bulb moment. I think the biggest part was just like my grandma. She raised me when I was a kid. Up in Vallejo, and so like.
Oh, down here in Vallejo?
Yeah.
707?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so like when I was in kindergarten, I would always go up to Vallejo. My grandma and grandpa like they would always take care of me and like kind of. I pretty much missed, like, I would say a good majority of kindergarten because I was always up in Vallejo with my grandparents. And they kind of raised me and, took care of me as my parents, like, started their own business. And, like, when they moved from there back down to L.A., they lived with us, and, like,
Nice.
my grandma would always give me food. I would
Nice.
pray to Buddha. In the morning with my grandpa, and then I had porridge with him in the morning, and
Nice.
like my grandma would always walk me home, she'd carry my backpack and things like that. So that
Nice.
was the greatest thing. And so like my grandpa passed away when I was in high school,
Okay.
and my grandma, she got sick, and so throughout college, like, she was getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and she got to a point where she had to get a colostomy bag. So like when they take out your colon, and you can't poop, so they have like a little bag right there, and then and it got to a point where she got 2 weeks, so we had to put her into a nursing home.
Okay.
And so like I would come like when it came to I think around near the end of like senior year of college, maybe junior year of college, I pretty much like would kind of visit her every now and then on the weekends. And then when I went into grad school in Vegas, it was even further away.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where I was like, okay, like let me try to come back, every so often, kind of see her. But school got in the way and things like that. And then it got to a point where she got really, really sick. I think my third year in grad school, or second year at grad school. And then it just kind of got to a point where I was like, man, like, I'm doing this for her. Yeah. And I just knew, like, if I wasn't able to graduate, and I told myself I'd have to graduate before, she passed away, or so she knows. And, like, I think she passed away, like, a few months before I was able to graduate. Wow. So that hit me hard, Yeah. And I'm like, I've been trying to come back from that and, like, things like that, but, like, I always tell myself every day, it's like, it's for her. It's like, it's always for her.
I think family sometimes is some of the best motivation. Yeah. When you do it for someone that you love and like, they're your blood. Yeah. Like for me, it's like I imagine my dad's story and what he went through, my mom too, and just that pushes me. Like that motivates me, and I know like it leads me to do more and like go past that. Like when I want to stop, when I'm tired, I'm like, okay, just do. You have such an easy life. Like imagine what your parents went through. Imagine what your grandparents went through. So I'm like, okay, you can do a little more.
Yeah, like definitely, like, cause like I talk to my dad about this all the time. Like I was like, dude, why'd you leave Taiwan to come here? Because like he had a really successful like construction business, and he told me like one day straight up, he was like, because I didn't want to watch you guys. I wanted to watch you guys grow up, and I was like, damn, that's gangster as fuck. Yeah. Like you leave all this money to watch us grow up. Yeah. And I still don't play basketball with you as much. So, so there's that, and it's like you don't think about it, but as you get older, you're like, damn, our parents really sacrificed a shit ton for us.
Oh yeah,
a lot, dude.
And like now we're just like, oh my god, and now it finally dawns like, oh yeah, I better not, stay out till 4 a.m. Yeah. And actually, like, go to work.
I say that all the time. No, I totally get what you're saying. Like, those things, I've heard my friends say a couple times, they say passion is a privilege. You know what I mean? Like, dude, living in a day and age where we're like, oh, man, I don't want to work because I'm not passionate about it. I should chase my passions. Like, our parents didn't really have that. Yeah. That wasn't a choice. It was like survive or not. That's it. You know what I mean? Like you didn't do what you were passionate about. You did what would put food on the table.
Yeah. And I think I'm grateful for the fact that like I'm passionate about PT and it pays decently well. Like I don't know any of my tech friends, but like, yeah, I'm passionate about putting ones and zeros.
I love coding.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are people. I feel like there's always people for everything. You know what I mean? There's always those outliers where it's like, oh crap, you're really into that. Yeah. Well, I mean, good for you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like like I was mentioning earlier, like PTs are like the passionate few. Yeah. I feel like when you choose to be PT, you gotta love it. And like you were saying, you get into like $200,000 worth of debt. Yeah. You don't pay. You get paid the best. I mean, you get a title, that's cool, but it's like, holy shit, what am I gonna do about this student debt? Yeah. So you gotta really love what you do. And even you said you're like, oh, like you possibly can't tell right now, but I'm introverted. Right. And you love it so much that you're able to work with people every day. Yeah.
It's one of those things where like you have like a social meter and you give it all to your patients, and then you come home, you're like, oh shit, I have a girlfriend. You're like, oh, I gotta give her some energy too. And then you give her some energy, you're sitting in bed, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna shell at myself. Let's start this all over again.
That's crazy.
And then your patient texts you at 2 a.m. Ah, fuck.
Yeah. Who the fuck are you texting?
Yeah.
babe, it's a patient, I swear.
Yeah. Or it's Dennis.
So you mentioned that like you come home, your girlfriend and everything. Yeah. For when you look for someone to date, let's say like your girlfriend and everything. Yeah. Do you look for that similar mentality that you have in the sense of like, your parents came from like this third world country, or not Taiwan isn't really third world, but they escaped, they came over here, Yeah. Do you look for people when you date like that who have that kind of similar upbringing or mindset? I only ask for myself because I found that when I date, I get along better with girls whose parents have been, immigrants. Yeah. They're first generation. They kind of understand that struggle, and that's been my own experience. Yeah. That's why I asked you, like, have you had that, or?
I would say yeah. I mean, it definitely comes up in conversations too, but it's not like the first thing I look for, right? Half the time, like I'll tell you, like how my girlfriend and I met, like I just broke up with my ex, and then like COVID happened, and
2020.
And, and just swiping left and right on Hinge, and then came around like my birthday time around June, and I was like,
oh, June. What day is your birthday?
69.
Oh, damn. Jesus, 9.
Anyways, so like I think like I was at a party and my friends like we're all drunk and shit, and I was like on my Hinge just swiping left and right. Wake up the next day, I was like, oh, someone actually liked me back. That's cool.
What?
And then like my friends dragged me out of bed and we went to the shooting range, and I was super hungover, and then somehow I was texting her before she went to work, and then like we just hit it off.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, thanks to my friends for getting me drunk and left and right.
What's the first thing you guys talked about?
Oh shit.
Don't ever let her listen to this. Don't ever let her listen to this shit.
The first thing we talked about was like she said it was like a Sunday and she was going to work, and I'm like, you're going to work on a Sunday? She's like, yeah, because like I work at this time. And I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. And then like she told me like now she tells me later like, oh, like she downloaded the app literally the night night before, and then she was just on there swiping left and right too, and like it's just somehow like destiny happened, I guess.
Holy shit!
Right?
Did you have a cheesy pickup line?
It was, hey, smiley face.
Wow. So
And they say hey doesn't work.
Yeah.
I get slapped every time I use that one.
It was one Y and semicolon in a smiley face. Yeah.
The semicolon.
Oh. She's
wasn't
like,
even a
damn, this
winky
guy's
one."
educated. He must be a doctor of some sort.
Double space.
Double space. Oh my god.
Yeah. And like the crazy thing was like, I remember when we were talking and things got really dry. I was like, oh fuck, I can't do this.
Oh wow.
And so like I was like, okay, I was like, I think you're like talking to me kind of. I think you're kind of over. I think I need to dig myself out of this hole.
So you send a dick pic?
No, can't do that.
Can't do that.
Not on Hinge. I don't think.
There's no APA format for that.
Can't be double spaced. So I really try to I wasn't using pickup lines. I was just being genuine, and like she kind of fell for that, and then kicker.
Oh.
So our first date, right? I was like, all right, first dates, let's kind of have coffee or whatever, and I think it was like sometime in the afternoon, and she was like, you know what? I don't want coffee. And I was like, what do you mean you don't want coffee? Oh. She's like, let's go to the bar, and then went to this Irish bar like across from the coffee shop, and I was like, I haven't eaten anything all day, and I'm probably gonna turn red. She's like, it's fine. We'll get something there to eat. And so like we got there around like 2:30 or 3, and we drank
2:33 p.m.
PM, not
God
AM.
damn.
Yeah. And then
It didn't make it better.
we drank from our date was from 3 p.m. till 11 p.m. at night. It was an 8 hour.
Drank the whole time.
Yeah, drink the whole time.
So you're saying she's Taiwanese too?
No, she's not. She's like 3/4 Chinese and like 1/4 white.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So super interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought she was Korean, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Damn.
and then I mean it's all rest is history, man. It's crazy. Like
wow.
I don't know, cause like what you said about like immigrant parents, like her parents, I don't know, like they worked super hard in like the restaurant industry, right? Like as waiters and managers and things like that. And then like her mom, after they had her and her brother, she was a stay-at-home mom, and her dad worked like these crazy hours in the restaurant business, and then he became like a travel agent, in those big tour buses with a flag from there, and now they own a place in Diamond Bar, and I was like, dude, how'd your dad like make all this money and work this hard?
Yeah.
And he probably bust his ass.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably got paid on the table too, but
For sure.
yeah.
I think that's very similar to what I was hinting at, because it's like it's this work ethic, this work culture kind of, where that at least I've noticed a lot of immigrants have, and it trickles down to like the next generation. You know, that at least that's what I've noticed. And it's for me, like I noticed it's important for me. It sounds like she has it too, where it's like, dude, her dad's working crazy hours. Yeah, I get that. Like my dad too. Same thing. My mom became a housewife too. My dad worked crazy hours. And it's just It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't know how they do it. It's like they create like more hours in the day. I'm like, there's 24.
Yeah.
Where are you getting the other 3 from?
I don't know. To get their math wrong
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. I thought you were good at math.
No, that's crazy. No, I totally get it because like I don't feel like for sure it's not like a ethnical thing or like ethnicity thing, because like let's say we're talking about immigrants, right? Like I feel like is a generational wealth thing.
Yeah.
So like I have like some family members in Vietnam, like very few, who are like really really rich. They've been rich for a long ass time, you know, and they don't know what struggles me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're Vietnamese just like me.
Yeah.
But my parents came over here on a boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we fucking had nothing. We came here on a fucking boat. I was born on a fucking beach.
Yeah.
In a fucking refugee camp. You know what I mean? Like
In Malaysia.
in Malaysia. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
bad Asia.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. But yeah, and like I think that same thing. We usually generalize like let's say white people as like, oh yeah, you do have privilege like systematically, right? It's made for you to succeed.
Yeah.
But definitely at one point when Italians or whatever other kind of white people like immigrated here, they were all kind of like trying to make it by too. I'm sure they had very similar struggles.
Yeah.
Until they whatever system was built to help them succeed. You know what I mean? So
And it's always gonna take time. Right?
yeah, no,
But
definitely.
I think that if we were given the privilege, I think that takes the fun out of
it does.
being
it does.
doing what we do.
Yeah.
Right? Because if things were too easy, then what's the point in life?
Yeah, and our parents probably wouldn't beat the shit out of us.
I would love for things to be easy. Give me all the
Really?
fucking privilege.
Dude,
Damn.
really?
Sometimes
I work too hard. Give me all-
man, I'm that guy who like played Halo and was like, let's go to Legendary.
Yeah, no, I love a challenge. Like for me, like that's what gets me going. Like there's some things that I don't even like doing unless it's challenging.
Yeah.
Like, and then I still won't like it, but I'll just do it because it's challenging.
Yeah.
I like the challenge versus I actually like the process.
No,
Really not.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I tell my friends I'm not type A, I'm type B plus.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna use that.
I told my parents that
I'm
too. They
type
beat the
plus,
shit out of me.
I'm a lazy type A.
Yeah.
Lazy
Right, where
type
it's
A.
like sometimes when
Like
I'm,
a
when I'm
minus?
lazy, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But like when I work hard, I work really freaking hard.
Same.
Right?
Same.
Feel you.
And it's just one of those things where like I like being lazy, but then when I'm lazy, I'm like fuck, I should probably be doing something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
me too, dude.
I'm like fuck, man.
You have for me, it's like I have this voice inside of my head. I'm like, oh, are you wasting time? What are
Yeah.
you doing with your time?
Yeah.
Like, can you be more productive?
Yeah.
Like, can you hustle? And I have this weird thing where I love working like sometimes on holidays.
Yeah.
Or like when I know other people are out. Like I know all my friends are out partying. I know they're
Yeah.
doing stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna work. If
Yeah.
no one else is doing, I'm gonna catch up. Or like I'm gonna go farther. But sometimes I'm like, is this toxic?
Your parents raised you the right way, Mario.
I don't know. That's like a loaded conversation too, because like I'm not saying like specifically my dad. I feel like immigrant parents do this, but like my dad worked his fucking ass off, and similar to your dad, my dad owns a construction company.
Yeah.
And he's hands on as fuck. He still is hands on
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? Like I know that he's definitely one of the hardest workers like out there ever. This guy works 365, like 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
He's like in his 60s, still does the same shit.
Yeah.
He does things hands on. He's not like, you go do this. He was like,
Yeah.
let me show you how to do this,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll do it alongside with you.
Yeah.
Because like if you go and meet like his, I'm not saying anything like crazy or anything like that, but like his workers are also some of the craziest, like hardest
Yeah.
working people,
Yeah.
right? And his workers would be like, your dad outworks me every fucking day.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's my dad's the same way.
Yeah.
That's
Same exact
gangster
fucking
as
way.
It's just
fuck.
insane, And to
Yeah.
me, like, I do appreciate that grit. Like, I think that's awesome, right? But I feel like that's also the reason why we have this hustle culture, where it's
Yeah.
like hustle every fucking day, like 365, 24/8, like all this bullshit,
Which
right?
can be toxic.
Yeah, it is, and that's why when you ask, I think to me, yeah, I will disagree with that, because, like, for me as his kid, I was like, I wish I had more time with him,
Yeah.
because I didn't really get to know my dad because he
Yeah.
wasn't around. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he was like, I'm
Same,
busy providing you a better life.
Yeah.
Same.
But I'm like, is it really better for me,
Yeah.
or is it what you think is better for me?
Yeah, I think the best thing my parents did over COVID was definitely go to Taiwan and just like retire.
Yeah.
Because they worked so hard, right? And like me and my sisters, like they didn't have time to save up for like retirement.
Yeah.
So like we were giving them retirement funds, like
That's
like, they have
awesome.
Social Security and things like. But the thing is like, when we give them this money, it's like it's never going to repay all the hours they worked, all the time they sacrificed, all
the youth,
the vacations they could have taken by themselves, right? Like nothing is going to repay that. And I think what I've realized as I get older, it's like it's not about the money. It's more like my mom, like. You know that saying where like, and as an Asian parent, they give you fruit because they love you. Like my mom, she got into baking, and she would like give me and my girlfriend like egg tarts. I'm like, egg tarts.
Oh, damn, that's
like,
tight.
I want egg tarts. And she would give us like 4 eggs. I'm like, oh, thank God. Right? It's delicious. And like and I think with my dad, it's like I know my dad wants to spend more time with me, but I'm just so busy like him. And so he's starting to realize like, hey, like. He's just as busy as I am. He knows how to work hard. Yeah. So my dad just when he comes back, he just gives me a thumbs up, and I'm like, yeah. And then it's just that silent like male agreement.
I do know that. Silent male agreement. I feel that because like I'm busy too. Yeah. And I notice that too. And there's moments in the day where I'm like, I could be spending more time with my family or like my dad. Spend like go bond and stuff. And I'll try. Like at least for my family, we've made purposeful steps to trying to hang out together. We force ourselves to go hang out or hike or like spend time together because like you notice it as you get older and you're more aware of it, like all the shit that they've sacrificed for us. And it's like while you're saying like how do you pay them back? It's not about money, it's not about that. It's like for me, at least for us, it's like you spend more time together and kind of get to know your parents as adults, which is really hard and sometimes uncomfortable. We're like actually trying to like get to know them as people where you break beyond like what you there's this like barrier, and it's this barrier of comfort and this barrier of like repetitive like actions that you have you've had all your life. Like, oh hey mom, how are you doing? Oh, what's to eat? Blah blah. Oh this is that, and you go beyond like, oh, how are you feeling? Like, are you happy? Like, what scares you? Are you afraid of dying?
Man.
Oh my god,
man, you got those deep questions.
Well, it's I've tried to have these with my parents, because it's like I know they're getting older. I know they're getting to that point, and it's like, how do I make their transition into this new part of their life easier? How can I help as like they've helped me? What can I do to help them?
I think the hardest thing is that like when our parents still view us as their children, right? And like I've had this conversation with my parents like a lot when like now I know my mom a little more and I know my dad a little more as well, where the fact that it's like my dad like he worked super hard, but he was always like kind of the life of the party, right? And my mom was always a troublemaker.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all.
Right. And I'm like, what?
He's like, that's where I got it from.
Right. I'm like, oh, yeah. So like my mom, like she was telling me like, she like jumped, she like skipped school, jumped out the window and like ran off. I was like, what the hell? And like my dad would just like throw parties, and my dad would say like, oh yeah, like I dated a bunch of girls, and like I didn't think I was gonna end up dating your mom, but I ended up did, and I was like, wow, okay. So did you marry the right person?
He's like, I still don't know.
Wow. And I'm like, oh okay, well. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, that's crazy that your parents were so honest about those things. Were they honest like early on?
Yeah, they were pretty honest early on. My dad told me one day, and my mom's kind of telling me, they're like, yeah, you were a mistake. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh,
they're like, oh, yeah, we had you in the Philippines, and here you are. I'm like, oh. Hi.
Oh wow!
Oh, he's a Filipino.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
honorary Filipino.
So like my mom had me when she was 38. So like I'm kind of grateful.
Shit, 38.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the fact that I came out semi-normal.
Yeah. Especially back then. That's crazy, dude. Yeah. So how old is your dad?
My dad's 69.
So circling back, you seem very passionate about your career, your patients, and everything. Mm-hmm. What are you doing right now in your life to, maintain that passion and, keep going with what you're doing?
Yeah. I think right now is like I'm in a lot of mentorship programs and just trying to figure out like how to streamline my thought, because like my mind goes like a million miles per hour. So I'm really trying to streamline like what I've learned, and in school, but also outside while working, and just trying to put that into perspective and really trying to create the best amount of care for my patients. And then especially like an insurance-based, clinic, it's really hard because I'm seeing like today I saw like 24 patients, and that's what 3 an hour, an 8-hour day. But what I try to do is really try to create like, even though in that system I try to create like $1 million amount of care and like a $5 copay, right? Jesus. And you're trying to give them a good amount of care, but at the end of the day, system's still broken. Yeah. But that's how it is.
is there anything that you do now that, you know, goes beyond what you're currently doing? Like, obviously you're working your 9 to 5 and everything, but do you go beyond that? Like, do you want to be more than like the doctor PT? Is there any other aspirations you're headed towards?
I don't know, cause like, you know, when I work my you know, my regular job, you know, there are days when, you know, I like on Monday, Wednesdays at lunch, I go see a private client, and she's like this old grandma that's been in an apartment for, you know, all of pandemic, you know,
wow.
and I treated her and her husband, you know, and then unfortunately her husband passed away, but I'm still working on her and just trying to keep her active, right? And I do that on my lunchtime, and then like on the other days of the week and sometimes on Sundays, I go see private clients, and sometimes I'll drive out here, and that's like, you know, 50 miles, and I'll go see a patient here, and just I don't think of that as work.
No.
Right? It's not work. For some reason, it feels like a hobby to me. All right.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's kind of like, it's not work at all. Right.
Yeah.
It's play.
So what's the dream for you? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Like, I imagine you want your own practice and like running everything the way you want it, but you tell me.
I don't know. I've thought about it, and like, yeah, it'd be nice to kind of have my own spin on things and like help a lot more people and not work under someone else. But I found myself to be really good to help people, but not help myself for some reason. It's really weird.
Wow.
It tends to be like that.
Yeah. So like, being an entrepreneur is cool, but being a business owner is way different.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's kind of like you sacrifice a lot more time and effort, and like, I don't know if I can spread myself that thin because my bandwidth just isn't enough just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe in 5 years my bandwidth is enough. You know, it's like training a muscle.
Yeah.
And maybe if I stress myself enough and then I want to pull all my hair out in 5 years maybe.
Yeah.
But I think right now is more just focusing on what I have in front of me. Because if I don't, I look, you know, 5 years and, you know, like 2 steps beyond what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not giving what's in front of me the fullest attention.
Do you?
It seems like your heart is very in helping rather than like expanding, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're very passionate about helping that next person and giving them like that $1 million care for a $5 copay.
Yeah.
The title of the episode.
Clickbait. Okay, so it's just a question I had, or not a question, but just something I thought about in general. Like, you know, you said like you want to help out a lot of people, but it's hard when you're helping out a lot of people because you're in limited time. It's kind of like the problem we had in our schooling system, right?
Yeah.
It's like, one teacher and like 60 kids. It's kind of like they don't get the best of attention, right? But I've noticed that, like, through the years, we have become more like digitized, right? Like with the way we provide our like basically like education and knowledge.
Right.
Like, if you were to give someone or this next generation like a little bit of knowledge about their body and what they could do to, because one of the biggest things you could do, not just to cure or fix, is to prevent.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
injuries, right? Like, what would you give them as far as like a piece of advice?
I think the best thing I can give them is, I know get up and move sounds very simple.
Yeah.
But find something that you love to do, right? And expand on it. Right. So if you love to play video games and let's say you like to play Valorant, maybe do parkour to do all the stuff in Valorant.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I like
or
that.
like if you like, you know, to play, you know, some people like to play 2K but they don't play basketball. Don't play basketball. Right. Take it into an actual form, not in just the virtual world, but in your life as well. And then who knows, you could be better at it.
So how, like, since you're talking about that, like, how deficient are we at moving? Do you feel like as just, you know, people in America?
I think people move without a purpose, right? When you start moving with purpose, then you find purpose, right? Because if you're failing to prepare, then you're preparing to fail, right? If you have that goal in mind, just work backwards from that. Let's say like you want to run, well, shoot, what's stopping you from running, right? Am I too busy? I don't know how to wear shoes. Am I running on hot coal, right? You know, Occam's razor, right? Just find the simple solution and just work your way back from there.
Who would you say inspired you the most?
Man, cheesy as hell, but my parents, my grandparents, you know, I mean, they sacrificed so much to put me here, you know, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my parents, of course.
Yeah.
And the great Philippine food.
Right.
Shouts to the Philippines for me.
But honestly, like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it feels like I'm just made for being a PT, you know, being for who I am, right? And just helping people. You know, whether I get paid, yeah, it's nice. You know, it is like we gotta live, right? But at the end of the day, it's like what helps me go to sleep at night is like I know I've helped people. I know like people like even as simple as going up and down stairs. Like if I can get a person to go up and down stairs without pain, dude, I can go to sleep at night like a baby.
Dude, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
What is your craziest dating experience?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Shit.
All right. So Dennis knows about this. All right. So
That's why he laughed. That's why he laughed.
Yeah. So I think my craziest. Oh shoot. Oh yeah. My craziest dating experience was my end of my junior year. Oh no. Sorry. My sophomore, junior year. My freshman year in college, I was super fat, right? And then I lost a bunch of weight going into my sophomore year.
What do you mean by super fat?
Like I was like 280.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh wow.
I'm still a little chubby right now, but I'm
No, you
cuter.
look
No, you
bro.
thick.
You look
Yeah,
cute, bro.
thanks.
You fashion
Yeah.
Nova
Yeah,
thick.
Yeah. And then I lost a lot of weight, and then I had this newfound confidence, and I dated this one girl, and I think it was like my sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
And then I know we hit it off, and then things got a little red flaggish. Yeah.
Did you see it at that point? Or?
No, I was blinded by love.
Rose-colored glasses, huh?
And then.
Cheers
And
to
then
that. Cheers to rose-colored glasses.
yeah. Jesus.
Cheers to being
I mean, you can tell they're red flags.
You mean being in love?
yeah, heartless.
And then she's probably not gonna see this, but yeah. So we broke up before we were gonna go into summer into my senior year.
Okay.
And she calls me one day and she's like, "Oh, I'm pregnant."
I knew it.
Oh my
I knew it.
And I was like, "God damn!"
Damn.
And it's like I knew I pulled out, and I knew. And you said you took your plan B.
Yeah.
Oh, you did not. And then so
From red flags to red
so
lines.
what happened was that summer I was doing my volunteer hours to get into grad school, right? So
Oh
I was
my
like
God.
doing like full-time hours, and then like on Fridays I would tell my mom like, hey, look, I gotta go down to San Diego to do like some other volunteer work. But what I would do, right? Yeah.
I didn't know you could volunteer at abortion clinics.
No, I can't. So what
Imagine
happened
volunteering
was-
to be a parent.
So what happened was, she was staying with her parents in Sacramento, and I was in LA. So so at 12 a.m. I would leave my house, drive my ass to Sacramento.
No fucking way.
Yeah, drive my ass to Sacramento.
Was that like a 5-hour drive?
That's like a five and a half
Oh my
hour drive. I would bust my ass there, right? And we would talk it out like, hey, look, do we want to keep this kid? Do we not? And I don't think I was thinking right because I never asked her to take a pregnancy test. That was my fault.
It's a little rude.
Right? I know. Who knows?
What would be the best approach? To do that?
Oh, damn! I don't know. It depends.
See?
It depends how long you've been together too. You know.
I think it was like almost a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Year
feel
and a
like
half.
you could ask.
Yeah.
I feel like you could ask. Be like, hey,
Mario,
just
I'm
for
pregnant.
bitch, take a bit.
Oh, really? You talked to her like that after a year and a half? What the fuck?
Take a test so we both see. Like, you know.
I see it. There's a fucking baby.
Yeah. Right.
No, you just ate too many tacos.
Wow, that's fucked
Sorry,
up.
go
dude.
on.
So what happened was, and I'll tell you guys the whole story. They're probably not gonna make it into this cut, but I think the third weekend I was up there, and and then there was a cop driving by, and I was trying to get out because she was yelling at me, and then I was gonna get out, she bit my arm.
Oh.
And I don't know if there's a scar there still, but it's probably
I saw-
there.
I
It's
saw
not
it,
my
I
arm.
saw it,
It's not-
I saw
It's
it.
not my
I think I
tricep.
saw it, yeah.
It's not my tricep. But
Yeah.
yeah, so she bit my arm, ripped my clothes off, and then
What?
Wait, what?
Whoa, that escalated
Hold on.
super
Yeah.
Hold on, what?
So I couldn't get out of the car.
What do you mean she ripped your clothes off?
So she took her nails and ripped my
Holy
shirt shreds.
shit.
And then
As you're driving?
no, as we were parked because a cop drove by and I was gonna get out because I can't stand this anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That's too much.
Yeah. So fast forward to right when school's about to start. I told her, I was like, hey, look, let's not. I can't do this anymore. Like whether you have the kid or not, here I'll pay child support, whatever. I just can't be with
Whoa.
you, right? So I was like, for my mental health, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then so she was like, okay, can I come and pick up my stuff at my place? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I was like, okay, look, you can stay outside. And let me bring your stuff. So I was, and then there's a screen door, right? And then you can push
Smart man.
So
Yeah.
I locked it, but then she stuck her foot right before I was gonna lock it, and she runs into the house, down the hallway into my room where I was staying with my other roommates, and I was like, oh
What the
shit, well, what the fuck, right? So now, like, she's barricaded herself in my room, and I'm like,
hostage situation.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm not kidnapping. You're kidnapping yourself. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on here? So I finally get into the room, and she starts throwing stuff, yelling at me, things like that.
Oh, my God.
Right. And then I can't do anything. Like, I'm not gonna like tell her to stop, right? Because like
you could tell her to stop.
Well, I mean,
Stop hitting me.
Keep on going.
yeah. And then I think the biggest thing was like, I was like, look, like, I understand she's mad at me, and like, so she like broke my my cologne bottle. She broke like my TV, broke my PS4.
Oh, that's where I draw the fucking line right there.
Yeah. And so like, and I told her, I was like, hey, can you stop? Because like we were on a corner house, and so like kids were walking by.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, look, like it's not good for the kids, blah blah. She's like, she wouldn't stop. So she like scratched up inside my mouth. There's blood all over the walls, everything. And then eventually my roommate heard. I'm like, what the fuck you been doing all this time? And then like they called the cops. Cops came like 4 hours later. They arrested her. Yeah. They arrested her for domestic violence.
Shit.
And like I forgot to tell you this, but like before like the reason why she got so mad was because like before we started school, I took her to Planned Parenthood, right? And by the time she should have been like her almost starting her second trimester.
Yeah.
So my friend who had an abortion before was like, if it's second trimester, you either take a pill or you have like the surgical part of it.
Yeah.
And so like she went in, came out in like 15 minutes. I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little
Sound
sketch, man. Yeah. A little sketch,
You took
bro.
off the glasses.
Yeah, I can see. And so
I see color.
Yeah. So at that point, I know this is really long, but at that point, like, yeah. So she got arrested, and then one of my friends was like, "Hey, look, you should probably like get a restraining order because like you guys go to the same school." You know, like, what if you're walking your car at night? She comes at you. I'm like, oh shit, probably.
Damn.
You know, but I was like,
The night prowler.
yeah. You know, I might get pegged in the middle of the night.
Oh shit.
So I got the restraining order, and then
Fuck,
yeah,
you
it's,
did it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the story.
So what happened to the baby?
Oh,
What happened to the baby?
Oh yeah. So there was never a baby to begin with.
You are not the father.
Plot twist.
I would have been like Maury just running around.
Holy shit, dude.
When did you find out? Like,
Oh, so like yeah. So apparently she was lying to keep me to stay.
yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you find out?
Her friend told me.
Oh, fuck. Her
Yeah.
friend told you?
And her friend bailed her out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Her friend's a good friend to both of you guys.
know.
And holy
I gotta
shit.
ask, what ethnicity?
She was Hmong.
Oh.
Hmong. Oh. Hey, I got a lot of Hmong homies, but y'all crazy as fuck.
My Hmong and Laos homies are pretty chill.
Oh,
but, yeah.
Hmong,
And-
Laos,
And
Cambodia.
like no hate on religion, but she was Christian, and like I was her first boyfriend. And
Oh.
I just felt bad.
You were supposed to be her last too.
I know. My friends all told me she got dickmatized, but I'm not sure.
Stigmatized. He's like, is that even a real thing?
Can this work?
I'm like, I don't know. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. Like, why is it so offensive that we ask, like, oh, are you really pregnant?
I don't know.
Are you really
I didn't think it was
hurt?
offensive.
Oh, are you really this or that? Like,
I don't
why?
know, because I was.
Coming to the mic. Coming to the mic. We do have guests to come to this show. These laughs and cheers are from real people.
Maybe women might feel like, oh, I can't believe he's asking me. He doesn't believe me.
So how do the women who are faking it know to feel that way? To be offended by something that's not real?
I feel like it's part of the, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say, I feel like it's part of the act, you know? Like, they want to make it believable, so.
The better answer is agreeing. You know, sorry, the better response.
Let's say we're talking about another subject like, oh, I just cut myself today. Yeah. That's not a milestone of any sorts. So now it's like, oh, did you really? Why is that an offensive question?
Believing the person is sometimes more important than actually asking the question. Because it comes out very disrespectful to ask.
Yeah. Also, the fact that I was 21, I didn't know any better.
Oh, you so you're really
I didn't know any better.
Oh, you didn't say. Oh, damn.
Holy shit.
I was 21. I didn't know any better.
See, you had a girl said that she was pregnant. He's had a girl saying that she had cancer. Like, it's fucking.
Damn,
yeah.
I think that's worse, man.
Really?
I don't know if it's worse. I feel like they're both equal.
No,
No.
no.
I'd rather have the chick have cancer.
I'd rather she had cancer than have a baby, to be honest. All right, guys. Now it's time for our lightning round, where we
Yep.
ask our guests some rapid fire questions. If they can't answer on time, they drink.
You gotta take a shot or sip.
Are you ready?
No. Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Did they call you doctor in bed?
Oh.
No. No.
Your favorite body part?
The knee and the back. Parts.
Explain.
Why the knee and the back?
Yeah, why is it in the back?
Because a lot of people have knee and back problems.
Okay.
Oh, he is a real doctor.
Would you ever date a patient?
No.
Oh, wow.
Your most embarrassing moment at work?
I ripped my pants
Doing what?
squatting.
Okay.
Oh.
I
How
ripped
much weight, though?
Lulu's. I ripped Lulu's.
Lulu's? How much
Yeah.
weight was it? How much weight?
Damn.
How much
No,
weight?
I squat down to tie a patient's shoe.
Damn.
Yeah, that sucked.
Okay, he thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give some PT advice would you give our audience?
Move well, sleep well, eat well.
Okay. So live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The PT way.
Hey, if you were a DJ, what would your name be? Drink.
Oh fuck.
Drink. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
I was literally talking about this with my girlfriend the other day.
Really?
It was I think it was House of Woo.
House of Woo.
Yeah.
All right. If you were a porn star, what would your name be?
Doc.
Doc Ock.
Taiwan is number what?
1.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, if you weren't APT, what would you be?
I'll drink.
Damn. He really wants to be APT.
Probably aerodynamics engineer for race cars. I still want to go back to that, but I think I love this way too much.
And what's your real name?
Wu Hongling.
Wu Hongling.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Mark, right?
Oh, what's your favorite car?
My favorite car right now, probably a Porsche 911 GT2 RS.
Oh, 2RS.
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet. Still testing on Nürburgring.
What is your favorite car back then when you were a kid that you wanted to afford if you were an adult?
Mark IV Supra.
Mark IV Supra.
Supra.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay. Nice,
One
nice.
big turbo 2JZ. Nice.
Oh,
I know what I want. I
single
know what I
turbo?
want.
Built or not?
Huh?
Built?
Oh,
Fully
yeah.
built? Oh, okay. Do you think Taiwan should be part of China?
Oh fuck. No.
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 Okay.
No.
No?
No
okay,
way.
okay. Yeah.
No. Hey man, we make all the microchips in the world.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Well,
true.
most of the microchips in the world.
If there was one ex that you could take back, who would that be?
None.
Sir! Stop trying to get him in trouble.
I love my girlfriend.
Friends plural.
He does not need another restraining order against
No.
someone.
How many kids would you want to have?
Max 2.
Max 2. Damn.
First has to be a daughter though.
First has to be a daughter.
If I get a
Okay.
daughter and that's it, that's it.
Wow,
Really?
Yeah. My mom hated that answer.
Yeah.
Wow.
They
okay.
Mine's like minimum 2 and
Yeah.
boy first.
I don't know, man. It's just something about cute little daughters, man.
Very similar to your parents leaving. If you had to leave America, where would you live?
Japan.
Wow. Why
Ooh.
Japan?
I love the food. I love the culture.
Oh.
You know,
He's a weeb.
love the cars.
Yeah.
Anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Favorite anime?
Oh.
Wow. I think he answered for him.
Favorite anime. Probably. Oh man. Hang on, let me drink real quick.
Oh, damn.
Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z.
really?
The whole series.
I think we can excuse Dragon Ball. Like that's almost everyone's.
No, but I'm
go-to.
curious. I'm curious to why though.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like
'Cause
it connects with him a lot. That's why I'm
If
curious.
you've never got bullied for trying to go Super Saiyan on the playground,
Oh.
then that ain't. Yeah, there you go. That ain't your favorite anime.
Bro, I used
yeah.
to do little kamehamehas.
Yeah.
Like,
I do that on the basketball courts all the time.
yeah, you do.
Yeah. Like I'm getting a Majin Buu tattoo soon.
Really?
Hopefully. Yeah.
Nice.
On your forehead?
No, I wish. No,
Because Majin Buu has a...
no. I'm getting one hopefully by my friend soon. It's gonna be Majin Buu eating fried chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Why do you relate to that?
Cause I'm fat.
No, aside from Dragon Ball.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I really like Samurai Champloo because
Okay.
of
Solid,
Nujabes. Right?
Yeah, Nujabes is
Yeah,
solid, yep.
Nujabes for sure.
Rest in peace.
Soundtrack.
Yeah,
Greatest.
R.I.P. If you guys watch like
Shouts to Shingo too.
Outlaw Star, you guys watch Outlaw Star?
I feel like I have seen that. I don't.
I
You guys
know
need
what it
to
is,
watch.
but I've never
yeah.
seen it.
Outlaw Star
Really?
is good. all the Gundam series.
Okay,
I used to build them as a kid.
Zero. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that. It takes so much dedication.
Yeah, my girlfriend doesn't let me because we don't have space.
One is really good.
What?
Yeah, Orphan's good. Gotta go with Naruto.
Of course. Shouts to Rock Lee.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy inspired me, bro. When he took all those
Yo, me
weights
too.
and like,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "What's he gonna do? Drop those weights?" And he goes like,
I remember watching that on my Windows Media Player on my fucking like desktop.
"Windows Media
Yeah,
Player,
my
you
Windows
fucking
Media- he did
peasant."
that, and remember after the episode, I'm like, I'm gonna do some push-ups. Like, just like,
Yeah.
I felt so inspired.
I was inspired until the 10th push-up. And then
Now let me watch the next episode.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this concludes our lightning round. I want
Yeah.
to say thank you to our very amazing and passionate guest, Wayne.
Thank you,
Let us know
Wayne.
where we can find you.
You guys can find me on Instagram. It's Dr. Wu. It's DCTR_Wu, W.
Thank you guys for making this far. Make sure you like, comment down below what you guys want us to talk about next. And make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell
And remember,
to
Live fast, eat ass.